Saturday Social, brought to you by EA Sports FC with PlayStation 5.
Hello and welcome to Saturday Social. We are back for a fifth season, the first show of the season, but we are bigger and better than ever, aren't we? Extra 30 minutes, we've got more guests, more Premier League access, a new studio and a new camera that Joe is very excited about.
Yeah, it does really get close to you, doesn't it, this camera?
I'm really excited about it.
I'm very excited about it. I'm excited about the whole season. Yeah, like you said, back bigger and better than ever. And we want to hear from you guys at home as we do every single season. Our guests are going to be giving some predictions today, so we want to get your predictions too. We're on X. It was formerly known as Twitter, at Sky Sports PL. Use the hashtag Saturday Social. Let's meet our guests, shall we?
Let's meet the guests. First up, one of the country's most recognisable, I would say entertaining influencers. It is HP like the sauce, Harry Pinero.
Yes.
Harry, how are you? What have you been up to, mate? You're a very busy man.
Yeah, well, I've just started a new football podcast with Culture Cams called The Inside Scoop. We started that just before the season ended, and now we're into the season now, so very excited about that. So we're going to be everywhere.
Love it.
Yeah.
Going to be everywhere.
Going to be everywhere. Talking of everywhere, let's bring in Nicole Holliday, Lionesses, Arsenal. How have you been?
Really good. Yeah, I've been working with Arsenal pre-season, which has been pretty fun. It's got me in the mood. It's got me excited. Big things are coming for the Gooners. And, yeah, the Women's World Cup has been brilliant. Fingers crossed for the Lionesses this morning, actually.
Come on, girls.
Well said, massive game this morning, of course. Next up, host of The Ripple Effect, EFL expert, pleasure. He told me to write that.
Are we sure about this?
He told me to write that. QPR fan as well.
Yeah.
Not many QPR fans we have on. James Allcott, looking superb as always. James, how have you been?
Good, yeah. It's nice to find out I'm an expert. Things are good. Had a little break, back with YouTube, back with a new idea as well, which is going to get small creators a chance to be on the channel. So, yeah, really excited.
Yeah. Now, I'm looking at the rundown, James. Apologies, there isn't a lot of QPR content in the show. Sure. So you've got about 10 seconds to give us your thoughts on QPR so far. Rock bottom of the Championship, how are you feeling?
Oh.
Do you need 10 seconds?
I'm using my 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
Well done. Liar. Absolute liar. And as well as hearing from HP, Nicole and James throughout the show, me and Smithy, we got with Ben Chilwell and Bruno Fernandes, two separate features there, so we're going to be bringing you those later on in the show.
Yes. Right. We are going to kick off with our stereotypical, traditional Saturday Social pre-season predictions. Now, this was iconic last season because we had Rory Jennings on the show, who had Haaland as flop of the season. Just the 52 goals in all competitions, so we didn't invite him back.
We did. We invited Rory back multiple times.
He said no, there are 7 categories, so think long and hard about this when you think of how viral that clip went. Do you want to tell us the 7 categories that the guests have got to get off the fence for?
Yeah, absolutely. We can have a look at the categories on your screen now. You can see them on the left-hand side. I think we should go straight in, though, with champions, because a rare occurrence here. 3 different teams. Harry Pinero.
Yeah, you know me.
I mean, what's happened?
Well, look, we finished third last season with players that we essentially didn't want. Ten Hag didn't want those players. So I feel like we went to a League Cup final, which we won, if you forgot. And we got to FA Cup final, which we lost to the best team in the world. So for me, I feel like with the players that we've signed already, the players that are leaving, like Harry Maguire, Fred, I believe that this is the team that Ten Hag actually believes can at least try and attempt to win the league. Now, listen, I support United. I love United. They are part of who I am, part of the fabric. My heart is half organ, half United. So I'm only going to go with what my heart is telling me. So don't shoot the messenger.
This is terrible practice, right? You both clearly have never jinxed your team. Because if I think QPR are going to go and do well, they don't. You don't say it, and you've both made a huge
Every
error
time I come on this show and I say something about United, the opposite happens. So who knows? But
But
it happens. So it's not about jinxing. It's my actual truth and my belief.
It is not, Harry. I don't believe
I don't
for a
think
minute.
you have any leg to stand on 93% of the season.
Nicole, your thoughts on Arsenal?
Guys, what do you mean? You're acting like it's an absolute hot take. Hello, look how well Arsenal did last
agree.
season. We've only got stronger. Declan Rice, Timber, by the way, have you seen him pre-season? He looks so good. Havertz, an interesting one.
No,
because I think what's quite good for us with Havertz is there's actually not much pressure on him, right? Because everyone's saying he's going to be a flop. So as long as he does better than what everyone's expecting, which clearly isn't that much in the football world, I think he'll do well. I think Mikel Arteta will actually get quite a lot out of him. I think he'll be a lot better playing for Arsenal. So we've strengthened. Surely we're only going to do better this season. We've done one season of pushing Man City all the way. They've got more experience now. This is a young side. We've got the talent. We can do this.
Yeah. OK, so they're disagreeing on this. I think Arsenal will have a good season as well, actually, with the players they've bought. Let's have a look at
gritted teeth.
Let's have a look at the top 4 then as well, because this helps to understand where you think the order is. James, I'm going to come to you because you've gone Man City as champions, but you've all gone the top 4, interestingly, but in a different order. So you think City shooing for the championship, but Liverpool runners up for you. So why have you gone?
Definitely said that when the Caicedo news broke.
I mean, that would have been an absolute game changer, and I would have felt really good about this. It was Liverpool and Arsenal for me in terms of those 2 spots. Man City, I just don't see conceding goals at all. I think they've got all the answers. With Liverpool, I just see so many goals in that team.
Do you?
And I think also there's a lot of players there that people have forgotten about how good they are. Like, no one's talking about Mohamed Salah. No one's talking about Jota, Luis Diaz. Gakpo's going to be better. Darwin Núñez has got a system that's going to make him better as well. So I think they're going to score so many goals. So I think they've got a chance. They need a couple more players, but they've still got time.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on the top 4s?
I was going to say Chelsea as well. I think because of the fact of they've bought so many players, but I think it's going to take them a longer time. And just like what James said, I think with Liverpool, towards the end of the season as well, we saw how good they can be as well. And I think with the additions that they've got this season, there will be a lot of goals. They're a goal machine, that team.
Interesting, no one put Chelsea. No one put Newcastle as well, of course, who did finish in the top 4. They do have Champions League football as well, so they added games.
Yeah, and nobody put Tottenham.
No, this show,
Are you okay though? You know, is everything all right?
I think we've got to move on
I
to the
think we are. We may as well, because we will discuss
long answer, Harry, that. It's not a short answer.
And we will definitely discuss Tottenham because somebody has said them for a upcoming prediction. Yeah, but not yet.
For relegation?
Now we're talking. No, we're talking overachievers. Next, let's have a look at who you've said for your overachievers. Villa, Burnley, and Bournemouth. Nicole, you saw Burnley last night.
Yeah. Okay. To be fair,
That was I thought they were actually all right.
I do. I agree. I think they had some moments where they were very good. Very unfortunate for them that their first game of the Premier League season is against Manchester City. Or is it good for them? They got it out the way.
Yeah.
But I think what Company did last season with them in the Championship was brilliant. I think they're going to stay up. Which straight away, surely that's kind of overachieving because a lot of people have them. It's very easy to say the recently promoted teams are the ones that will be going down at the end of the season. I think they'll do quite well. And I think from what we saw last night, they're going to really give it a go. Yeah. So,
I agree with that. I think they'll stay up. I think what's impressive about Vincent Kompany, a lot of people looked at the points tally and said they won the Championship quite comfortably and credit to them. But actually, it's the way that they've played and he's changed the complete philosophy of how Burnley play. It's not just what they achieve, but it's how they play as well. I think it's a good shout.
Bournemouth? Similar sort of story.
Iraola, I think it's a good move to bring him in.
Yeah.
They are going to be probably the fittest team in the league. I like the depth that they have now in the attacking positions. A bit worried about set pieces in the back line, but I think they're going to do really well. It's interesting that Burnley and Bournemouth, teams that you would generally have right down the bottom there and then just not think about anymore. I think you're going to see a different Bournemouth this year, and I think they're good to watch.
HP, you've said Villa.
Yeah.
Now they had a really good back end of the season. I think they finished 7th, didn't they? So what's overachieving for Villa? Is it that they've got to win the?
I think they're going to cause a lot of big teams problems when they go to Villa Park. I think with Unai Emery, we've seen in the season when he was at Arsenal and even when he went to Villa how quick he can change the philosophy of a team and make them believe. I think they're going to overachieve. I think they're going to be knocking on the door of the top 4. Probably not get in, but they'll be knocking on the door. That's how I believe.
And they're definitely going to do well in Europe, aren't they?
Definitely. Yeah, I just think they're my friend said a joke the other day. He goes, if Villa was in Serie A, they'd probably win it. I think they're that good. They're a good team.
That is some claim.
Well, it's my friend. I don't know if it's my friend.
That's it.
Maybe it was me. Who knows?
My friend Harry Pinero.
He was waiting for him to laugh, and then no one
Not
did.
convinced about that one at all.
What a job Unai Emery did, though. 17th at the end of last October, and amazing job that he did. Next up, underachievers.
Here we
Let's
go.
have a look at who you've gone with that. Right, OK.
Yeah.
So James has gone Wolves, Nicole's gone West Ham. Harry,
Spurs,
you've gone Tottenham.
Why
Tottenham?
I think obviously.
Sat next to me?
No, I just didn't know he was going to be here. No, I'll be honest. I look at the fact that Spurs were absolutely woeful last season, and then your biggest player has officially gone now. And I think that's going to make it even more difficult. And I don't think Richarlison as a striker is enough to get you the amount of goals that Kane gets you and saves you with. So I think for that reason, I think it's going to be very, very, very hard for you this
Why is Nicole laughing at me? She's just looking at my face laughing.
I'm not laughing. I feel sad for you.
Right.
You've lost your star man.
Sorry, but that's worse.
I feel really sorry for you,
Thank you.
Smithy.
I'm so
No,
much
it must
better
be
knowing
hard.
Yeah.
Losing such a key player from
we're
your
still
team.
talking about this? Okay.
When it's already been quite bad.
It's been horrible.
Let's just have a
It's been
moment for
shocking.
Smithy.
I think we should be a bit positive about Ange.
I
think Ange is
Why are you?
I think at least
Can I say one thing?
at least this is dealt with and they can progress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've actually really liked the way that Ange has conducted himself and how he's spoken so honestly, and also how he's trying to play football. He's changed the system. I think it's very easy to be negative about us now. I am really sad about Kane. But I think, you know, Ange hasn't had a competitive game. I think you've got to give a new manager a chance.
Yeah.
Totally.
To hit the ground running.
Yeah. I think you could get less points this season than you did last season and have a much better time. And that's what it's all about anyway. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, West Ham and Wolves as well.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, West Ham, I mean, look, I actually probably should have gone with Spurs, but at the time of writing that, Harry Kane hadn't yet left. I think West Ham, winning the Europa Conference League almost papered over the cracks slightly. They had a bad Premier League season last season, as we all know. I think losing Declan Rice, I just don't think they've done enough. I mean, it depends on what signings they do make, because they're obviously being heavily linked with a few players. I just don't think they're going to be good enough. I think they're going to struggle again this season.
And Wolves,
I think that the FFP thing's a massive thing here. I think you've got a lesser manager, like however you want to put it together. I think O'Neill is exciting and, you know, he's young and all those things, which is great. But Lopetegui is a better manager, so you've lost him. You can't really bring in better players as well. They don't score many goals. They've got no depth in the centre-back position at the moment, and that all kind of creates the idea for me that they could go down.
Yeah, I mean, they were rock bottom before Lopetegui took over.
Apologies to Wolves fans that might be watching with James. It's worth putting out for a bit of balance as well. I know what you're saying. Lopetegui, great management. Gary O'Neill did have a good end to the season with Wolves. Did a great job keeping them up, so worth pointing out with that. Next one, let's talk transfers, shall we?
Yeah, transfer hit, isn't it?
Yeah.
2 Arsenal. Oh, 3 Arsenal.
Oh!
2 of the same name, and then Drew and Timber. So, Declan Rice. Nicole, let's come straight to you. You're an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm buzzing. I know that everyone's been going on about the price tag. However, obviously now with what Caicedo's probably going to be going for, I feel like it's kind of taken off that pressure from the Rice transfer. I think he's a quality player. I think he'll make Arsenal even stronger. I think it's what we needed as well. And I think he's got that leadership quality as well. He's already settled in really well with the team. I just think absolutely brilliant signing for Arsenal.
And you agree, James?
I think he's awesome, and I think he's only going to get better. I think you saw in the Community Shield that he kind of got given the left-hand side to just deal with. And also, you're actually buying like 4 players for 25 million, because he can play in so many different areas. He gives them so much sort of multifunctionality. Like, he's awesome. I think he's so good.
Plays all the time as well. Since his breakthrough season, he started 175 of a possible 190 games for West Ham. That's in the Premier League. And obviously winning possession is clear more than any other player. 1,453 times. He's going to be such a pivotal player for Arsenal. You disagree?
No. I agree with what they're saying about Declan. I think I'm a big fan of what he's done at West Ham, and I think he'll do really well at Arsenal. But I think for me last season, where I felt like defensively Arsenal kind of suffered was that, you know, right back, centre back, if in case Gabriel gets injured or Saliba. I think Yuri Timber is incredible. He can do everything.
Only 38 million as well.
That's a steal. And you know, the Community Shield, if it's anything to go by, he played really well in that game against, you know, the best team in the world.
Got so many players who can play in different positions.
Yeah,
as well.
and that's why I think Arsenal will be they'll be up there.
Mikel Arteta likes that, doesn't he? Trossard, a lot of players that can actually do a job in various positions.
Well, Timber himself, he can literally play mostly right back, centre back, and left back. He's been really good. So
Just
Thanks,
while we're
Harry.
on the topic of transfers, just wanted to talk about Caicedo a little bit, because obviously it was such big news yesterday, wasn't it? 110, 111 million pound bids being accepted, and then kind of going to Liverpool potentially, then going to Chelsea. Jimbo, where are you at with Caicedo?
Just let me know when it's done.
That's crazy, isn't it?
We will. Sky Sports will let you know when it's done.
I think it's a bit of a disaster for Liverpool, because it's such a signing if you get him. Because there's a lot of talk about Trent and getting in behind him. If you get Caicedo in that team, that helps that so much.
Yeah.
Liverpool need him more than Chelsea for me. But it looks like he's probably going to go to Chelsea.
Are you surprised with the way it did pan out, in that he turned down Liverpool with the fee agreed and everything like that? Are you surprised with how that actually played out, that transfer?
Well, I think the problem here is that we know about it. So when these things get kind of put out into the ether, then we kind of know what the storyline is. That's the problem. Like, these things must happen all the time, where they have second thoughts and all that stuff, but it's probably not out into, you know,
But
we don't know about it.
He confirmed it in his press conference, and he said we've had, you know, a bid accepted, and like between the clubs at least. So
that game on Sunday could be.
Imagine if Chelsea present him pre-game. That would be awesome.
Quickly get Lavia as well.
I would love it. I mean, it would be something that I'd probably put in my list of the greatest things that ever happened on TV. But I think with Caicedo, I think he's also one of those players that we've all seen what he did at Brighton. So the fee is obviously a madness, but we know what type of player that both of the teams want. And I think you're right, Liverpool do need him more, especially when they've missed out on Jude Bellingham.
Yeah.
It would have been integral for them to get him, and because they have it now, I think that just puts a damper on their season a little bit.
A lot of transfers going on, so I think it's going to be a really exciting, busy end to the transfer window. The next category we're going to look at is transfer miss. This isn't necessarily a transfer we think is going to be terrible, but it's one that you may think, with price tags involved, might not be as successful as others. Kai Havertz appears twice here. Rasmus Højlund as well appears. So, Kai Havertz, both of you have gone. Why have you gone with Kai, Harry?
I didn't think Arsenal needed him, personally. I felt like it was a buy that surprised me. I think when Declan Rice was announced, it made sense. Jurrien Timber, it made sense. But Havertz, I thought, I don't know why they need him, because at Chelsea, he, for me, wasn't good at all. Bar him scoring in the Champions League final, I don't think he's got a moment at Chelsea where it was like, yeah, he's worth the money that they've bought. And I think this season he's going to be really, really bad, personally.
Really, really bad? You honestly think he's going to be really, really bad?
This is all opinion.
In an Arsenal team that, you know, were exceptional last year with one of the best coaches in the league.
I don't think the side that Havertz, because I don't even know what Havertz's position is. I'll be honest.
But is that not the beauty for this Arsenal side, that he is so versatile?
Yeah,
he can play as an 8, he can play as a 9.
Can he play in those positions really, really well? Is he better than Odegaard in the 8? No. Is he better than Martinelli on the left? No. So it's like you're buying a player. I don't know what Arteta's idea is, and we'll find it out this season. But as it stands right now, I don't think it was a needed buy.
Do you think he starts when everyone's fit for Arsenal?
Probably because of the money he's paid, but if you're going off talent, no. Martinelli, Saka and Jesus, that's the front three for me.
You've got him as well. So.
Yeah, I think he could lead to a lot of frustration in a couple of different ways. So first of all, I think in the big games, you'll play Declan Rice there, if you're playing Man City or whoever. I think against the lesser sides, Trossard's a great player if you're going to play in that sort of left-sided 8 position.
Really good.
So then if he plays up front, I'm not sure he's that great there either.
Often plays as a false 9 though, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I think he could frustrate there as well in terms of missing some chances if he's not getting the game time as well. So you're either not playing him in a position where people thought he was going to be exciting there, or you're playing in a position where really you'd rather have a Højlund.
Nick, you're the Arsenal fan.
This upset Joe, this one, I've got to say, so go on.
Oh,
But what do you think about Rice first of all?
Well, Havertz, I think what you're saying is,
Havertz,
I don't think he will be a starter. I think he's good cover because he's got the versatility and you can play him in a number of
he's
places.
Expected to be a starter, isn't he? That's the thing. I don't think it's his fault a little bit. I think they've got probably a few too many players in that position. I think that's why it will be seen as a bit of a miss. But yeah, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. I trust in Mikel Arteta. We've seen what he can do. I think he knows how to get the best out of players. I think he's obviously seen something in Havertz that he thinks he can work with, and he can get something and the best out of him. So, again, like I said earlier, I understand what you're saying. It is a lot of money. I do think he'll be able to show the best version of himself and what he can do at Arsenal.
Yeah, I think everybody looks a bit better though. I think everybody looks a bit better at Arsenal because they're playing such a functional unit. I think it's hard to look bad in such a good team. Like I think he. Yeah, I would be surprised if he is like a standout.
I think it's more about but the noise of a big money signing. You expect big output, and I just don't think you'll see that.
So your pick, go on.
Okay, hear me out. I've gone for Højlund. Now, it's not, I think it's a miss. I think it's maybe a bit more of an overrated transfer for this season in terms of he is 20 years old. What was he, 72 million? That's a hefty price tag. I know there's a lot that's been put on how many goals or how few goals he scored last season. I think it was 9 in 32 games in the league.
9 in 32 league games. I think 10 in 34 all comps it was.
OK. I think he's very talented, obviously. I think he's got a lot of potential. I think he will come good. I think for this season, there's quite a lot of pressure on him to come in and straight away in the Premier League do a Haaland, light up the league.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's one to watch. And he could do big things there. But right now, this season, I don't think he's going to be this goal-scoring machine.
HP actually convinced Rasmus to join.
Yeah.
HP was in his DMs with Rasmus saying, come to United, wouldn't you?
Yeah, early on.
You got 10% of the fee, didn't you?
No, I don't do it for that. Like I said, it's
Or if it's Harry involved, at least 20%.
This is for all the United fans across the world. No, but obviously with Højlund, I think, me and Cam, we spoke a lot about how we view what Man United need, and we need a player who can link up play really, really well, who's a goal scorer, who isn't going to, do too much on the ball, and I think that's Højlund.
Right, let's finish off, shall we?
Last category.
Last category. Player of the season.
Ooh.
Only one shout for Erling Haaland.
The man with sense.
He'll get
By the way, can I say, Harry
boot.
says the man with sense. He had Bruno Fernandes and text our producer after Haaland's second goal went, I think we're going to have Haaland now.
You know what? Can I be real with you? Yesterday, after Haaland's second goal, I text Bob, I said, yeah, bruv, take him off. Take him off. Now, I'll be honest, the reason why I tried to be different, I go with Bruno Fernandes, I felt like if I feel like United's going to win the league, I know that Bruno's going to be an integral part.
But you don't think they're
I
going to
do.
win the league.
I didn't know you were a psychic. You don't know what's going on in my head. But no, I think Haaland, if he started the season last season like that, it's only going to get better. I think he's definitely
Unbelievable start.
Everyone.
You disagree, Nicole?
No, I don't disagree.
Well, you had a different person.
Haaland's getting the golden boot, right? So if I'm picking him for that, I want it to be a bit different, make it a bit more fun. It's a bit boring, just Haaland for everything. He's a machine, we know that. He's going to get 7 trillion goals this season. Cool, well done. Saka.
I'm with you. I love it.
Saka. We all love Bukayo Saka. Yeah. He is incredible, still young. He's got so much to give. I think last season he was brilliant for Arsenal. I think we're going to see more of that this season. I think he's even more confident than ever. Still got so much potential. I think he's going to be brilliant.
Unbelievable season. 14 Premier League goals, 11 Premier League assists last season. What a player. Trent.
Yeah, I didn't get introduced as an entertainer. Harry did, but Harry went with the Haaland shout. But I'm looking to entertain it, guys. Right? So what I'm trying to do here is, look, whoever wins the league, a player from their team will win it. So it could be Odegaard, could be Saka. Haaland's obviously a great shout. I just think at the end, in terms of nominees, I think Trent is going to have a season where people get out of their own way a little bit and go, OK, hang on, but he's a right back and there's a ball in behind him. The guy's unbelievable. The guy's going to have 100 touches a game. The guy's going to create a whole compilation of passes where you go, wow. I love him drifting into that role, getting on the ball and playing those beautiful passes. And I just think by the end of the season, we'll stop focusing on what he's not good at. And I've probably been guilty of it as well, but he's been in that position. And we'll be focusing on how wonderful he is in terms of his vision and power.
Got to say, three good shouts. Well, EFL expert perfectly put.